Hi, I will be sharing with you how I was able to help myself by improving my financial self-care. Yeah, self-care is a process whereby one maintains and go through activities that promotes holistic well-being. All right, in self-care, you're prioritizing your mental health. You're doing activities that can affect you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, health-wise, and all around. And one thing I've come to realize in me and other people is that our finances affect us. Like, it affects the way we think about ourselves, our mental health, our emotional well-being, our mood. A lot of people commit suicide, they're in depression because of their financial status. And in my own case, I was really sad and depressed because I was not able to save money as I wanted to, like, achieve a particular financial status that I wanted. And there's been this goal that I wanted to achieve in 3 years. And every end of the year, I didn't seem to get those goals realized financially. It's not like money wasn't coming in, because when I check my bank's debit alert, like my bank statement for each month, I'm amazed about the amount of money that really comes into my account. And then towards the end of the year, it doesn't really look like this money really entered the account. So I was like, okay, that's I'm going to try, in 2022 to be a lot better. And sadly, in 2019, in 2020, in 2021, I got money, I worked, and other stuff, I got paid. But I wasn't hitting a particular financial goal that I made for myself. For 3 years, I had one financial goal, and it budgeted me each December of 2019, of 2020, and 2021. I was really sad because I didn't feel good. I was healthy and my mental health was fine, but something else was affecting my peace. And in this channel, we help people protect their peace, keep their joy, radiate natural beauty. Yes, I was getting, some other things in check, but I wasn't feeling at peace with myself. Because of my financial status, I needed to hit a particular savings goal, but I was not doing it. And for 3 Christmases, in 2020, in 2019, 2020, 2021, the same thing. And I told myself that in 2022, I even told God to help me, because I have one financial goal for each year, but I'm not hitting it as I want, like that particular figure. I'm not getting it. But in 2022, I was amazed. Like, by November, I hit it. Like, I was so fulfilled. I felt really good about myself. And I'm going to share with you what I did to hit my financial goal last year when it comes to my savings, actually, because I wanted that feeling that I have money in the account. If something comes up, let's say an investment or an opportunity, then I can make some payment for that, something really worth it. And not having a particular amount saved could be a hindrance. So I wanted that feeling that, okay, that I have so much, I have like some money here left that is for maybe personal development, it's for investment, it's for emergency, but I just start a particular amount of money. And I wasn't hitting this goal in 2019, 2020, 2021, each year. So the first thing that I did was to realize my financial growth ritual. I'm going to put it that way, like a ritual. The same thing that subconsciously has been happening to me over the years. And I needed to, because I wanted to track the progress. So I realized that each beginning of the year, so in 2020, the beginning of 2020, the beginning of 2021, and the beginning of 2022, each beginning of the year, I will start the year broke. And I also realized that the same way, by 2020, 2021, 2019, November, they were my peak year of having maybe financial progress or something. So, and then I realized that December and January were my most broke months of the year. Imagine, like November is like the month I go highest peak. Then December, just the decline is massive. So like December and January, that's I start the yearbook. That's I end the yearbook and I start the new yearbook. Then February, that's when I start picking up little. So let's say from February to November, I'm kind of stable. Then during November, high increase, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna end the year fine. Then when it comes to December, maybe middle of December, before Christmas, I'm already going broke. And I'm going to start New Year broke. Then I know January, people say January looks like 3 months in one. You know that feeling? You already broke from December and then going to in January. So it's like getting broke 6 months into wonderful months. So that's how I would be until February, then things start picking up. And I noticed it happened like this for 3 consecutive years. And I said it was not going to happen like that anymore. So what I did in 2022 is I already started a book, right? But I wasn't going to end a book. I told myself, I promised myself that, and I prayed myself into it, out of it, that I am going to get out of this cycle because it's been happening. I mean, okay, I call it financial cycle or something because it's been happening that same way. And now I've picked that, okay, this is what happened. And so I'm now more alert that November, December, January, I should be really careful in these 8 months. And so, yes, so in November, when, like I told you, it gets higher than normal, I was able to conserve. And by that time, I've been able to save. And by middle of November last year, I was able to hit my financial goal. And I was so happy. So, and I kept to it. There were so many things that tried to, make me break it before the first of this year. It was a lot, but I made it in such a way that it was hard. Even when I now wanted to, I couldn't do it because God was not helping me. He went in advance to, make me stick to my goals because I got him involved, and I'll tell you how he helped me. All right. So first of all, I got my financial cycle in check. Then second thing is, after knowing my financial cycle, I thought to myself, okay, how much can I be saving every month? How much do I think it's okay? So, as a Christian, we are told to be paying 10% of, according to the Bible, it's encouraged to pay 10% of your income as tithes. And because you pay 10% as your income as tithes, so you now have 90%, right? By default, you already have this in mind that you're paying 10% and you have 90%. I thought myself, if I read it in God's word to pay 10% as tithe, if God said 20%, my mindset would be on 20%. And because he said 10, I'm giving 10. I'm going to give myself 10%. I'm going to save 10% because every month I know I'm going to take away tithe. So now I should know to take away 10% for myself. My mind was like, it's not going to be happening. My mind was telling me it's not possible. I told my mind that it's possible because I have framed you to give 10% of tithe, right? Now 10% of my income as tithe. You should take 10% of my income as a savings. It was like a battle. It was not easy. Now I did a mental transformation. I had to talk to my mind. I had to talk to myself. I had to call a meeting with my spirit, my soul, my body, everything about me. I said, hey, we are going to do this year. And we've been doing 10% together, then 10% to ourselves. And with that mindset, I started rewarding myself. I rather started saving because it was making me happy. All right. I started saving. But sometimes I'll save, take it out because it's a culture that, like, I wanted to build it in a particular way. So sometimes I save it and take it out. It was affecting my plan. But here's what God did, because I got God involved and told God as well that I want to do this year. Please help me. Because I committed it. The Bible says that we should trust in the Lord and lean not on our own understanding, but we should acknowledge God in all our ways and he would make straight our path. So here was what God did. In one of my accounts, Suddenly, I couldn't access it, like using a USSD transfer code. And I didn't have a card. I intentionally didn't want to get a card. So I didn't have a bank card, a debit card, and I wasn't able to do a transfer. Suddenly, I used to be able to do a transfer, but now I wasn't able to do a transfer. And I got money there, but I needed to access it that period. I couldn't. Then I said, maybe next time I would access it, that I said maybe next time. I kept postponing visiting the bank, the customer care department, to fix something with it because I had other bank accounts, so I was using those other ones. So in that week that incident happened, something dawned on me. It was like God talking to me and said, "You've been trying to save and save with this amount, and something takes it." I even got a saving box. I literally got a saving box. And I broke my saving box in 2 weeks. I broke it. So God told me, "You've been trying to save. You know what's going to happen? Let's put this to this place." And my mind was like, God was like, He intentionally did that so that I can start saving properly because I couldn't access it unless I carry myself to the customer care department in the bank, and I didn't have that time. So I was like, yeah, there's already money there. You know what? I wanted to say 10% to myself. So I just threw in 10%. I was just throwing in 10%. And I noticed that I started just leaving the money there. I can't even access it. There were even times I tried, I couldn't access it. And I was like, wow, this is God's doing because it never happened in 3 years of using that account. And because of this, it's happening. And I believe God because He said, "I have good thoughts for you." And it was a perfect start for my financial goal. So one thing you will learn from this is get an account or a saving platform that you cannot access. Okay? Because I got a saving box, I broke it. You cannot access this. Get a place where you just cannot touch. And that's what God did for me now. I couldn't access it. And I could have walked to that place, but I just didn't want to, So I had my own role in that because I chose not to go to the bank. So you cannot sure you have your own. God did that for me. And each month I was putting in money there. And what's a beautiful thing? When I save money, I go and look at the bank statement or the credit alert, and I'm like, "Oh my days, this is beautiful." It made me happy. It made me happy. And in this journey, as someone who really wants to prioritize her emotional self-care, her mental self-care, and her financial self-care, and other kinds of self-care, it was really important for me to be holistically in good health. Right? And I noticed that it was giving me joy. Now that I'm seeing money that I'm saving somewhere. And sometimes when I get money, I was no longer saving 10%. Research shows that if you start saving, even if you say, okay, at the end of the year, you're saving 10% for 12 years, that before the end of that year, you might, and instead of saving 120% in total, it might be like 200% that you saved. Because the more you're saving, that spirit of saving gets into you and you save more. You see yourself increasing your financial bars because you're liking the results, you're liking the effect, and you feel like you're rewarding yourself more. So you will not learn to constrain yourself from expenditures that are not necessary. And that's what happened to me. So not just saving 10%, I started saving 20, I started saving 25. At the time I saved 40. I think I said 50 at the moment, but I'm sure 40. And I was saving and it was making me happy. So that was the second thing that happened. So get an account, you can't access. The third thing that I did to help myself was when I go shopping, I make a budget. Yes, I would always make a budget. Let's say what I want to buy is about 15,000 naira. I used to go to the market with 16,000 naira or 17,000 naira. And going to the market with an extra makes me buy on impulse because maybe I didn't budget a particular thing. And then I say, let's say a fruit or a nut, let's say granite, or just anything I liked and I didn't budget it. I'll be like, okay, I have an extra money. I can get this. And I get it. So before I know it, when I come back, I spend everything. So I had to stop taking extras to the market. And what I did was I took less. So if I have 15,000 naira as my budget for shopping, as long as it's not a supermarket that the price is already fixed. If I'm going to a local market that I can bargain, I go with less than the amount. Let's say I budgeted 15,000. I would go to the market with 14,000 intentionally, because in my mind, I am the one who put those price tags, price list. It might not be that same amount when I go to the market. And sometimes I'm asking myself, okay, this is the particular price for this thing. But what if, since I've reduced the price, it affects me? I look for something in my list that is not really important, that maybe I was to buy 2 times or three, or I just get one piece or two pieces of it. You understand? So that way, I was going to the market with less. And when I now go to the market, it makes me bargain, makes me shop better. All right, because I do not want to, because I know that I don't have enough money. So I have that mindset that I don't have enough money, so I have to save well. I have to, spend it well in the market. And I noticed that when I come back from the market, I come back with, let's say, 500 naira extra, which I wouldn't have come back with if I had the exact money that I budgeted in the local market shopping, or if I had much more. I noticed this is like the cycle. So I noticed that then, and in 2022, I made sure I went to market with less than I want to buy. And when I go there, if like it makes, sometimes I go to the market and at the end I'm like, I don't even need this, I don't even need that. Maybe because the money is not enough, I start rationalizing, because whatever you're doing, you're buying with emotions and you're rationalizing them. It's like, okay, I needed this, but then when I come, because I don't have enough money in the market, I'm like, okay, I don't really need this thing, but I just put it, so I'm going to strike it off and buy something else that is important. So it helped me that way. So my expenditure, saving 10% of my money and increasing it with time, and also knowing my financial circle helped me by the end of 2022. No, it was in November, like I said earlier. By middle of November, I had hit that goal and I passed it. And I'm grateful to God for helping me, and I'm also appreciative for helping myself achieve my financial self-care goal. So you can use it to increase your financial self-care goal this year. You can use it to help yourself. And here's another thing. Even if you're a student or you're a working class, but your money you're getting is not adequate, I want to tell you something you can do that will still make you save. Save 1%, at least 1%. You can save 2%, 3%, but it might look smart to you. Let's say you're earning 10,000 naira and I tell you to save 10%. That's like 1,000. It might be too much for you. So save 10%, save 1% of 10,000 naira, which is 100 naira. It's small, but don't worry. What you would do is, if you start this month saving 1%, let's say you're a student, you don't have enough, and you're working class, you have so much activities, children to take care of, but to have at least 1%. When you save 1% this month, next month save 2%. Next 2 months, save 3%. Each month, be adding 1% to the savings. Here's the beautiful thing. You saved 1% this month. Next month, you're saving 2%. So if we add the 2% to saving next month to the 1% you've saved this month, that's 3%. When you add one you're going to save in the third month, which is 3%, plus the 3% you've already saved in the first and second month, that's 6%. When you keep adding it up like this, before you know it, you've saved some money that you'll be proud of yourself before the end of the year. Yes. And here's the beautiful thing. By the 5th month, you've been able to save 15% of your income. And when you add the 5th month's 5% you have to save, plus the already 15% you saved from January, from the first 4 months, that's 20% that you couldn't have ordinarily saved in 2 months easily. Now you saved it in 5 months. It might be too small, but don't worry about that. By the end of the 10th month, you would have saved much more than 50% of your money. And by the end of the year, you should have saved like at least 7,000 to 8,000 naira. And 7,000 to 8,000 naira if you were earning a 10,000 naira salary. it's a big thing because you've nearly saved up to 1 month's salary. If you think you don't have enough money, start with 1%. It will multiply. And the beautiful thing is money is attracted by who you become. And because you're saving more money, using it wise, you're spending it wise, you're attracting much money to yourself because you're able to manage yourself. Money wants to be managed appropriately and it runs away from people who don't save it well. So you would have to know how to save this money and make it increase by continuously saving. And as you're saving this money and making it increase, you'll be liking yourself a lot better. It will give you this self-worth and feeling, and you want to do more. So that's something that I think you can do this year to help your financial self-care. So even if you're working class, you're a housewife, whatever, it's just that income you're sure you get every month, be saving 10, at least 1%. If you can't save 10%, 1%, and get God involved in the process so that even when you don't feel like it, even when you're getting discouraged or you're trying to break your own goal, God will be there to help you. So yes, that's how I was able to end the year achieving my own financial self-care goal. And you can use it to start up this year. 1%, 10%, 5%, but just to be saving something. And also, when people give me money, I save it. I save. So I would say 50% of the money I get from people because I didn't expect it. Because I'm attracting more money, people were sending me money. And when people send me money, I don't spend that. I know it's money. People are like, oh, use it for this, use it for that. I carry a huge amount of it and save maybe 50%, 60% because I didn't expect it. So I'll save more. I wouldn't spend them all. And because I was saving money that people just giving me, I was getting more than I even worked for. So that's something that would happen to you when you start saving. I hope this video is very beneficial to you. Kindly like it and subscribe to our channel and share this video to your friends and loved ones so that they can get better knowledge on how to save and liberate themselves financially this year. See you in our next video.